Good evening, everyone, and welcome to tonight's Boys from the Baltic Star. You may notice it's slightly different tonight, but there's a good reason for that, and that's because we are in darkness. It is Saturday night, and I'm not here alone. I will share with you soon who is here, but thank you so much for joining us this evening. I hope that you've entered into the spirit of things by, I would say, pulling the curtains, but it's dark where we are. If it's light where you are, pull the curtains, lights off, maybe light a single candle so that you don't get scared. Make sure you've got a glass of something to drink by your arm, and close your eyes, headphones in, and listen to us this evening. We are the Boys from the Baltic Star, and we welcome you here. If it's your first time, you're very, very welcome. We don't always play like this, but we are tonight. If you're here as regulars, you know we do stupid things from time to time, so this shouldn't be a surprise to you. I'm basically getting my vengeance because my internet connection is so bad that I've not been able to see anyone's camera for the last few weeks. So I'm turning it on its head so that no one can see anyone's camera. And I've written a game based around that. It's a game based on my own self-frustration and anger and rage to the universe. So a nice, joyful game, as you will. Please feel free to chat or lurk. We love our chatters. We love our lurkers. I've got chat on at the minute because I can kind of read it. Hello, Russ. Poops is lurking. Anyone else that's here, hello. You're very, very welcome to stay for as long or short as you want. You can probably click on the red sign to spend things, but no, I don't know what's set up. All the sound things don't work if it's not running through me. So I don't really care. Save your points for another night. I am very fortunate to be joined by some people in the darkness tonight. Some people whose faces I cannot see. The rules are that the cameras are turned off, so all I can do is hear their beautiful voices. The first beautiful voice I'm coming to is my brother from another mother, the Floofmeister General and the housewife's favourite. He is the wonderful Ewan. Good evening, Ewan. Where are you?
Hi, Luke. I'm currently sat in front of a computer screen in almost pitch black. I was going to go pitch black, but I suddenly realised that I want to at least write down some words, even if you can't count them as notes. And I'd also want to see some dice rolls. So, yeah, I do have one solitary candle, half a bottle of wine, and that's it. Everything else is off.
This sounds beautifully, I don't know, evocative of the evening. I'm a big fan of your approach, Ewan.
Thanks.
You say you've got a dice. That's because you're expecting dice rolls. You clearly didn't listen last night, where we went 2 hours without a single dice roll.
Well, no. But you know, you never know. If we get half an hour in and I haven't rolled one, I might blow the candle out and just go full pitch black.
Oh, now we're talking. Speaking of a man that we never want to be in pitch black, because we always want to see his beautiful wisdom. He is the smartest man in any room, who tonight is living his entire life in a dreamless existence, the darkness of night. He is the smartest man in any darkened room. He is Ben. Good evening, Ben. How are you?
Good evening. I'm well, thank you. Yeah, I'm very looking forward to this. It seems a little bit of a departure, but we quite enjoy a bit of oddity on this channel. I'm looking forward to it.
Good. I'm glad about that, and I'd like to thank you once again for last night for just for all you do with Cecil and Cecily, and letting two idiots off the rope to run around in a carefully laid out field where you've taped some padding over the sharp edges and made sure there's no broken glass or anything for us to fall into by mistake.
Yeah, but protected the electrical sockets. Yes. Yeah. Well, I did start out the Cecil and Cecily's on the understanding that it might be a bit more of historical analysis, but as it turns out, that's not the way it went. So we're now going for Plan B, which is mayhem. But I quite like a bit of mayhem.
You certainly do, and you do wonderfully with it. And I'm, as Slay says today, Slayer, you are indeed playing. He does play from time to time, it must be said. And this is one of those. He's as good a player as he is a GM. So that's something to look forward to this evening. And of course, even in the dark, his voice has that little bit of extra gravitas and sexiness, I'm going to say. It's a beautiful thing. The darkness suits you, my friend.
I do have a face that's perfect for radio, so this may be my moment to shine.
Speaking of someone who often shines, it's our honorary boy once again for the evening. She is one of our favourite people of all time. She is the Cecily to my Cecil. She is the Anna to my Antonio.
Wow. We've got like a whole thing now. We've got like an entire fine.
And she's the Buffy to whatever B character Ewan plays in that game.
Guy.
At any time.
It's always
It's always Guy or Gaius.
Yeah.
She is the sensational sock fiddler. Good evening, Socks. How are you?
I was doing all right, but now I'm a little bit worried. I've been tricked into an ASMR stream. I've got to be honest. a little bit anxious.
The stream is what you make of it. That said, I really hate ASMR. It triggers me. So
It makes
I'll
me
be
very
trying.
angry. It's true. It makes me very angry.
I'm not licking the end of my microphone.
Stop it. Just don't even. It's nasty.
That sounded sarcastic for a minute there, like you actually are.
No, I mean right this second. I am not currently licking the end of my...
Just in a moment. The game changer. No, I'm
not.
fine.
I'm not licking the microphone.
I'm not licking the microphone. I'm fine. Thank you so much.
Good, I'm glad. And it's wonderful to hear for 2 nights in a row. We went weeks and weeks without playing together
Many,
because
many
I wasn't
weeks.
available when you guys were. And it's a joy to have you back under my wing.
Ooh. I can do
Hold-
that
hold-
voice,
hold
but it
all
doesn't fit here. I was Cecil.
Before we start, I have very sad news. I've made myself a terrible White Russian, far too much milk, and it's upsetting me. So I'm in a bad mood, and hopefully I don't take it out on the 3 of you this evening. At least I think it's only the 3 of you in the darkness. It's hard to tell with no light coming from anywhere. But that's where we find ourselves.
Well, my foot is wet, and I'm going to blame Ben.
It's a safe person to blame in such a situation.
Yeah.
It's all that. It's not the microphone he's licking.
No. I know that
Where's
it's
the
not
stream
alcohol.
going?
Anyway, yeah, Ben, stop it.
Okay. Are we ready to play, dear friends?
As ready as we'll ever be.
I'm going to hold my cards with no, but tentatively move forward.
I'd like you all to grasp a D10 in your hand so that you don't lose it in the darkness. It is the most beautiful of dice. It's one that will see you through these tough times. So don't lose it. Don't
I
drop
already
it.
feel there's bullying going on.
No,
Don't-
I mean there was a democratically made decision, and you just didn't show up for the ballot. I'm afraid, so that's why D10 got selected.
Decisions are always made when I'm not there. It's terrible.
Look, it's not that you weren't there; it's that it's just how it went down. Like, it wasn't deliberate, is what I'm saying.
And let's be honest. We all know you're using a D20.
Yes.
Mm.
Even in
Okay,
the
just half
darkness,
an
I can
hour.
sense it.
Yeah.
This microphone is good.
Okay. I'm telling you nothing of this game. Work it out as you go. But it is a role-playing game. And also, it is dark. Impossibly, infinitely, unflinchingly dark. A complete absence of light, of life, of hope and dreams.
God,
Consciousness brings
Great.
no relief to the equal blackness of the unconsciousness that preceded it, and no memory of the life before returns with the return of consciousness, if indeed this is consciousness. All there is darkness.
I feel that's a pregnant pause.
Hello.
What? Hello.
Hey,
Who's there?
Oh.
Hello.
Hello. Look, I don't really. Is everyone else seeing nothing at all? Right.
Is it nothing, or are we just blind?
Good question. How can we tell?
Poke yourself in the eye and see if anything changes.
You first.
Okay. Ow!
Um,
Nothing's changed.
Sock Fiddler, roll a d10.
Oh, yes. I'm so excited to roll a d10. I wasn't sure if that dice were going to come up. I'm not cheating, guys. I'm rolling in d20. And I got a 2.
Is,
The poke in your eye triggers a memory of a pet from your youth. It runs through your minds, and for no reason at all, you share it with your fellow compatriots.
Sticking myself in my eye reminded me of my first guinea pig. Her name was Minty, and she was white, and she was lovely, and she used to sleep in my bed with me. And I don't know why poking myself in the eye reminded me of that, but that's what came to mind. Minty.
you didn't stick her in your eye?
No, I was 6.
Right.
Hey, poke yourself in the eye, see what happens.
Okay. Ow.
Sharp pain streaks across your head, if it is indeed your head, and your mind remains black, dark. Nothing comes to mind, just disappointment and pain.
Oh.
Anything?
Slight pain, slight headache, loss of appetite.
But no memories of pets?
Maybe you've never had a pet.
Maybe I was a pet.
Oh.
Maybe you still are.
Ugh. This is weird. You poke yourself in the eye, number 2 man.
I am not a number.
You can't see me, but I'm holding a fist up in solidarity. Now poke yourself in the eye.
I stand up, I suppose, and then I don't poke myself in the eye. Just ow. No, nothing. I guess I didn't have a pet either.
You as you stand, you sense that there's something not far above your head. You know, when you lose one or two senses, the others come stronger, and you have a sense of something nearby that you didn't have when you were sat down.
I reach up and try and feel for what it is.
Roll a d10.
That is a 1.
You reach up and feel a cold, dank pipework running from where you are across to the end of your reach and beyond out into the continuing darkness. How far it goes, you can't tell. All you know is that in your life right now, directly above you is a pipe, and it takes you back to a childhood memory that you feel like sharing.
Well, we're definitely somewhere. I can feel. Oh, it's not nice. It's like a cold, damp pipe somewhere above my head. It reminds me somewhat of when I was a kid. I was chasing something, maybe a pet, maybe it was my pet. I was chasing something into into a storm drain trying to get it out, and got trapped for a horrible length of time. It wasn't as dark as this, but the pipe was definitely as cold and as damp.
What's underneath this? What can I feel under my hands? Am I sitting on something hard? Is it soft? Is it grainy? Is it smooth?
The ground is hard, it's solid. You run your hand across and it's, for the most part, smooth. It gives off a slightly cold touch. You have no way to see it, of course, but through your arms and your hands and your fingertips, it could be stone or it could be metal.
Okay, can I get on my hands and knees and just go forward really, really carefully? Like with my hands like sliding in front of me until they hit something. And I'm just going to keep moving forward.
Of course. And you're just going to keep on going.
Until I find something, yeah.
Can I hear the movement?
You can hear the movement, actually. You would suggest at this point that it is the slight scraping of knees and hands would suggest a metallic floor.
Okay.
As you hear her edge away, of course, it's so silent otherwise, you can hear the movement. 1, 2, 3 meters away, the slight huffing and puffing of someone, having to go on hands and knees.
All right. I'm going to say, which side of you am I?
I think you're on my left.
Okay. What I'm going to try to do as best I can is keep turning towards my left to basically stay facing towards the sound that Sox is making as best I can.
Of course.
While I do that, can I reach behind what I'm sitting on and see if there's a wall behind me or something?
You can. You reach behind and less than a foot away, there's a wall behind. It's as if from the sound of voices when the three of you came to, that you'd all found yourselves pretty much up against this wall there or thereabouts where you sat, where you lay. As your hand runs over the wall, as you hear the other character moving away from you, crawling away. Can you roll a d10, please?
For me, sorry.
Yes, please.
Yep. That's a 5.
That's a 5. That feeling of being in that place as someone moves away gives you a sudden flashback to a moment of your past and a loved one. It comes strongly to your mind, and you again, to break the silence, you share it with your colleagues, your friends, your enemies, who knows.
Remembering a place from a while ago. The place was different. Brick walls. It was a cellar. These walls don't feel as rough as that, do they? So Names. I'm Theo.
I'm Jane.
Maxwell. This is all well and good, but does anybody remember how we got here? Where are we? What's
It's your guess is as good as mine.
I still haven't found anything.
Okay, maybe. I'm going to try and find out if we're actually corporeal. I know roughly where Jane is. I'm going to stand up and carefully walk in that direction, slowly, very slowly, and see if I can actually reach out and make physical contact with Jane, or if we're just voices.
I'm gonna stop moving then, and I'm gonna clap my hands like this until you find me.
Okay, good plan. Yes.
I mean, you say corporeal, but I don't see what relevance it is if we've ever served in the forces.
He's that guy. Let's not hang out with Maxwell anymore.
Oh, there's only 3 of us, and Maxwell sucks.
You spend 4 minutes in a darkened room with me, and you already know you don't want to hang out with me.
I don't want any more of those jokes while I'm potentially preparing to fight for my life.
Right.
I'm still clapping.
Am I getting closer to the clapping of Jane's hands?
The clapping is getting louder. You feel it could be just a few meters away. You feel something against the outside of your left foot briefly as you walk towards her. Something. Is it physical? Is it a trick of the mind? You can't tell. Just something that your foot brushes against as you walk towards the claps.
As soon as that happens, I'm going to stop. I'm going to say, okay, I just touched something with my foot. Was it either of you?
Was it me? Can I feel him with my foot?
You can't feel anything with your foot, no.
Oh, it wasn't me.
Okay. Can I feel what I'm wearing?
You can. You appear to be wearing a very basic overall, just a cotton style overall with a zip.
Like
Can you roll a
boiler
d10?
suit sort of thing.
Yeah, just
Let's play a little game.
Roll a d10, please.
That's a 2.
As your hands run across the boiler suits and into the pockets of it, there's pockets there. That, for some reason, the hand going into that sort of pocket reminds you of a pet from your childhood. All that talk previously from Jane has brought that memory to you. And remembering that Jane had made a thing about her pet, you feel the need to share it.
Okay. I can remember spending time with a family pet cat called Jack. It wasn't quite as dark as this, perhaps, but at night the cat would climb in and lie on top of the covers in the middle of the night, and I'd wake up with it curled up on me.
The name is helpful. Should I ever
Well,
wish
yeah, well,
to get into your emails or internet banking or anything similar.
I have a real urge to hit you.
Be my guest. I'm right
Take
here.
a swing. Can I crouch down and feel around quickly to see if I can feel that object?
You can. As you stopped immediately, your hands skitter across the floor. It's the same surface as before. You swing that, as people do when they're searching, even if they know where something is, they swing their both arms either way, don't they? Springing it around. And it's a second or two before the little finger and then the ring finger and the middle finger from your left hand crash into this thing
Right.
and sort of push up against it. There is indeed something there.
Okay. I'm going to say immediately, I've got something here. Give me a sec. And then I'm going to turn around as much as I need to sort of be facing it roughly and try and run my hands over it and around it to see how big it is, what shape it is, what it's made of.
It appears to be made of exactly the same material of the boiler suit that you're wearing.
Oh,
And it appears to be
Leg shaped.
leg
And
shaped,
cold.
very leg shaped.
Is it my leg shaped? Is it me?
It's not you. It's leg shaped, and then as you run your hands around, it's a little bit groin shaped, and you quickly move your fingers down, and it's a bit foot shaped.
I assume at the groin shaped. If it was me, I would have said something.
I don't know. I don't know your character.
Maybe we're thinking,
But
I
it
like where this
wasn't.
is going.
Yeah, maybe. Was it me, Luke?
It was not you.
Oh, at this point,
Is
I
it
feel
in fact
believed.
cold to the touch?
It is cold to the touch.
Okay. Can I start working my way up the body?
Yeah, that's what they all say.
Yes, they do. And
Is this that weird dating show on Channel 4?
Yeah, can we not pass that off so lightly?
Yeah.
and when I get up towards, I'm looking essentially for the shoulder first, if I can find that.
You can find a shoulder, yes.
All right. If I can, I would like to put a hand on the shoulder. Is the body lying face up or face down?
Face down.
Okay. Then I will put a hand on the shoulder and grab hold of sort of the wrist forearm associated with that shoulder
Mm-hmm.
and try and lift it a little bit and move it outwards a little bit and see how much resistance there is. Is it just weight or is there stiffness?
Well,
I know you don't know enough about my character to know if there's stiffness, but
it's if you're trying to work out if the body is deceased and for how long it's deceased.
yeah,
I
I'm
suppose.
trying to find out if it's got rigor.
It's certainly, from your knowledge, if you have such knowledge, it's more than a couple of days.
Okay. So I'm going to say, right, I've got a dead body here, dressed like
Oh,
us,
God.
lying on the ground, stiff as a board, cold as you
You are.
like, and frankly, much less fun to talk to than Jane, and only marginally less fun to talk to than Maxwell, but I'm a bit worried about this.
How much weight? Can you feel bones, ribs?
What the fuck is wrong with you, dude?
No,
I
it's a fair
just want to know
question.
if they're starved,
Yeah.
starved to death, or
Did
how
he
much
starve
time
to
we've
death?
got.
That's a very good question. I will indeed run my hands down the the side of the ribs and see if I can work out roughly if the person's starved to death. Yeah.
It does not feel like they've starved. You run your hands down their ribs. It does
Yeah,
not feel
down
like
the
they've
side of the
starved.
ribs.
It does not feel like they've starved to death.
Okay.
There's suitable padding.
Okay. Can I reach up and find the sort of neck and the head?
You can.
I'd like to find the chin and see if I can detect a beard and see how, just a sort of general sense of how fine the hair is and how long it is.
As you reach your hand up to run it across the chin, you're thinking of a beard. Could you roll a d10, please?
Yep.
Thinking of a beard.
6.
As your mind is thinking of feeling for that beard, for the hair, you have a flash in your mind, a flashback of a tragic moment in your life that you share for morale.
For morale. Good. Yeah, this is a moment for tragedy. So I'm going to say this isn't the first dead body I've discovered. I found my brother after he died, but at least I could see him.
I'm sorry.
Thanks. Roughly how far away do I think Maxwell's voice is? Vaguely.
Oh, from where you are, if Maxwell was just that, he's only about 4 meters away from you.
Okay.
Sort of behind you and to one side if he hasn't moved along the pipe.
So we're fairly close still, yeah.
I was going to say that I will be slowly edging my way using the pipe across wherever we are.
As you respond, Maxwell, you as you're edging, you do feel like you're edging away, maybe at right angles or so, slowly but surely away from the voice of Theo.
Okay. I'm gonna take a leaf out of Jane's book, and I'm just gonna, though I don't necessarily know it, keep going until I find an end.
Oh, well, Jane is now in a fully fledged panic. And she's like, fuck this. And she's crawling as fast as she can now to get out. There's a dead body, there are 2 people, she doesn't know, and she's the only woman. This is not nice. So she's taken off. Like, still crawling on her hands and knees, trying to be as careful as possible, but she's straight lining it until she hits something.
And it's not long. It's probably another 5 or 6 panicky moments that you run, crash into a wall. You find a wall. You've made your way from one wall to another.
Huh. I found a wall. Can I start frantically feeling my way and moving in a right? Okay, so assuming I run into the wall and I'm facing the wall, I'm going to start moving right along the wall, trying to find any kind of detail, like a window, a door jamb, a handle, switches, anything, just anything up and down, as far as I can reach up and as far as I can go down, and I'm just going to work my way right.
You as you frantically, your hands move up and down over the wall, that same metallic-y wall, you feel like there might be posters or signs on it. You know, your hand runs across the edges of that. Of course, you can't see such a thing, but you know, as you run it, and there's sort of that feeling of a paper or something flicking against your finger as you run it across. You have that, and it runs across maybe something that's a bit of grating, perhaps. There's some slightly raised bits of metal. It's a bit pitted at times, that, you know, suggests it's not in the newest of conditions.
Can Can I take the piece of paper?
You can tear a piece of paper off, certainly, and as you do,
No.
you roll
I
it.
want to take the whole thing. I want as much
Okay.
of that as I can get.
Okie dokie. If you're going to take it carefully, you do, and it's let's say a 2 foot by 1.5 foot. Could you roll a dice, please?
Of course. Got a 1.
Like taking off something that might be a poster or a sign immediately triggers. There's like a flash in your mind that triggers you to something from your childhood that you that again, as has become habit between the three of you, you find yourself talking about it.
Oh, I found a paper on the wall. It reminds me of pictures when I was a kid, like at my grandparents' house, and they would have all of my pictures on the wall, like over each other, over and over again, and none of them were any really good, but they still treasured them, and I don't know why. But the piece of paper is enormous, and there's like I don't know where we are, and I'm frightened.
Me too.
Have you
If I'm
found a
honest.
corner?
No, I'm working my way to my right now.
Okay.
Can you just keep on talking? Can you
Yeah.
just keep on talking?
Can you let me know if the wall feels straight or curved?
I'm assuming it's straight.
It is very straight, in fact, until it's not too far. You do reach what feels like a right-angled corner.
And which way does it turn? Does it?
Back towards the way you.
So it's an interior corner.
Yes.
Okay. I'm at the corner. It comes back towards, I think, where we started from, but there's no detail that I can feel on it. I'm just going to keep following it. I'm just going to keep going.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you have a wall, Maxwell?
Good question. How far have I run into anything? Working my way along the pipe.
I reckon in that time, maybe you're being careful, of course, in the dark. Maybe 5-6 meters. Every now and again, of course, the pipe has been welded, so your fingers run across those sort of weldings to connect it to the roof. So you're realizing that sort of every meter or so. So you're almost counting your way along, like 5 weldings. You can't be sure, of course, but maybe from the speed you feel it's at 5, maybe 6. You're not yet getting that sense of something directly in front of you at this time, and now you are a good 8 or 9 meters away from anyone else and going away from them.
No, I must have gone a fair way. I'm following the pipe, but no wall as of yet.
So we've got a pipe, a metal floor, and a sign. Are we in a factory of some kind? Are we in a workshop?
What's the smell?
What do we smell?
The smell is strange. It's a smell that doesn't give much away, whereas usually you'd have the smell of a chemical or the smell of a smoke, or even the corpse doesn't really smell as such. At most, there's a faint chemical cleaning smell, I guess, is the best you could say, but not one that they've scrubbed. It's been scrubbed that day, but maybe a few days ago.
Like an old acetone type smell.
Yeah. Ewan, could you take a roll, please? That smell is you take that breathe in and take that smell. Could you roll a d10?
That's a 6.
That cleaning smell reminds you of a tragic moment, which as you're worried that you're walking so far away into your own space, you share so that your voice can be heard in the space.
It's it's a weird sanitary cleaning smell. It reminds me it kind of reminds me of hospital and when I was there with my mum. Oddly nondescript and sanitary. That's all I've got.
What were you in hospital for?
I wasn't. She was.
Was she in bed?
Yeah. Yeah, she was. Not for very long though.
You, as you're talking it through, you one more meter, one more join, and you reach a T junction with the pipes. It stops going ahead, and it feels like with the pipes, maybe there's a choice left or right, and ahead, it does not feel like there's a wall within that sort of meter.
I've got a left and right on the pipe.
Huh.
I can't hear. There's no like. Well, you know, Jane, when you're close to a wall, like that echo. I've got no echo coming back, so I can't tell what's in front of me, but the pipe goes left and right.
And these two are kind of in opposite directions from me, right?
Where you are by the body.
By the body, yeah.
If you were still looking forward to where Jane was, now it sounds to you, if you can place it, as if Jane is slightly more to your left and Maxwell is off to your. Sorry, she's more to your right and Maxwell's off to your left, quite a way away now.
Okay. Maxwell, can you hold on for just a moment to find out if Jane finds the next corner or the next pipe?
Yeah, I mean, I've been holding on to this pipe for a while. A little longer won't make any difference. I figure it's got to go somewhere, right? Even if it's just through a wall.
Yeah, probably. I'm just trying to get my head around how the way the two of you are moving are connected, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, I can try and go faster and find the next corner, and that should put me back on the wall where we began. And then if I follow that, that should take me to Maxwell, right?
In theory, and that wall might. You might get to a pipe before you get to the wall.
Okay.
And that'll tell you which way one of the directions of my pipe goes.
And why don't you move backwards towards where you started and away from the body, and then when I find you, we can move together towards Maxwell.
I will in a moment. I just want to check if I can work out if the body's male or female.
Oh, you take a moment to enjoy that then. Jane is fairly horrified at this point, and she's going to really concentrate quite hard on the meter square of space around her and not much else. So she's going to try and reach up and see if there's a pipe above her and continue moving right to try and find the next corner.
Going off of Jane's last comment of keep talking, Maxwell doesn't have much to say, but he will whistle something non-spooky given our current situation, but you know, something upbeat.
Right.
Something bewitching, perhaps.
Oh, say you will and I
Perhaps
won't.
indeed. I was hoping when you got the poster and we were talking about paper, I was hoping it was going to be a Bewitched poster.
Uh-oh.
Exactly.
Jane continues to work her way down the wall, whereas before perhaps you've been lower because of the talk of pipes. You're sort of feeling down and up as you go, and it slows your progress a little because you're trying to make the whole. But that way you're getting a greater sense of the wall, I suppose. And every pass, I don't know why I'm using my hands. every pass up and down the wall with your hands, you're noticing at sort of a meter high, there's a small, slightly raised strip,
Huh.
just
Does
that's
the-
running along the wall.
Does the wall feel? Is it a strip like the thing that you put the cables in when you're running over a brick wall and you don't want to drill?
No, it feels more like
Like a dado
Without
rail?
it- it's more, you know, like in a hospital where they have that a rail down, which is almost isn't really for holding on to, but it's almost like
To protect
a
the wall.
rail. Yeah, pretty much.
Oh.
To, you know, for bump when they bump to avoid, you know, bumping
like
the
a-
bed or
okay.
something like that.
And is it constant? Is it a continual?
It's from now that you found it, it's there, if that makes sense. Before you hadn't been feeling so much at that height, but now you're up and down. Every time you
Oh.
make that pass, it's there at the same height.
There's a rail on the wall. It's like at knee height. It's like those metal bumpers. That are we in a hospital? Okay, I'm just gonna follow the railing then, and see where that leads me.
Roll a dice for me, please, Such.
Okay. Roll. Please, can I have a 7? Or any number that's not 1, 2, 5, or 6.
Mm.
2.
Have another.
Oh, another roll. Nice.
You can take one more roll. Yeah.
Ooh.
6 again.
Ooh.
It's a
A giant
As you hold-
parts.
as you hold a rail,
Yeah.
a weird memory comes back, one that you weren't expecting to come back to your mind. Not that you were really, but it's almost the other senses come in, and you have this strange memory of a food,
Oh.
eating a food from a long time ago. It's almost a happy memory that you're almost cheerful to share after so much sadness previously.
Food. So she's feeling the rail, and then suddenly she just starts laughing, and she just says, "Banana sandwiches."
That's really unnerving.
I'm sorry. No, it was. I don't know why. I'm just remembering that I used to, when I couldn't sleep, I would sneak downstairs and I would make banana and peanut butter, but I couldn't. Wait, my dad would be there. My dad and we would make peanut butter and banana sandwiches at night, and they were so good. Yeah. Huh. I don't know why that popped into my mind, but I'm pleased it did. I'm going to keep following this rail.
You continue following it down, and it's basically as you walk, it's maybe 10, 12 meters, you do make the other internal corner, and it's just as you're making that internal corner, which would suggest maybe back at the wall you're at,
Yeah.
is Theo discovers that it's a male body.
Corner.
That's your second corner, right?
Yes, and it's coming back to. I've traced one half of a rectangle, if you see what I mean.
Yep, got it. And
Okay.
you haven't found a pipe yet.
No, just the railing. I'm still so essentially, Luke, what I'm doing is I'm following the railing with one hand and I'm still reaching up with the other hand.
Yep.
Okay.
No pipe.
What I'm going to do then is I'm going to search the pockets of my coverall,
Mm-hmm.
and then also the pockets of the body, please.
You within your pockets there's nothing, absolutely empty. Not even lint, not even a loose thread. Within the pockets of the body, you do the cursory pat down, of course, first, just to check you're not grabbing some chestnuts or something spiky.
Mhm.
As you reach into the first, you feel a rectangle. It feels like a hard plastic rectangle, maybe a couple of inches high by maybe 3 or 4 inches long.
Very thin, like an ID card, something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
I obviously don't want to break it, but does it have any sort of flex in it? Is it thin enough that there's a little gentle give in it?
There is a little gentle give.
Okay.
You also find in the pocket you find a small plastic fob. You know, like a rectangle with a slight triangle on one end, with a
Okay.
hole there, and a ring connected to a small key.
A key.
Yeah,
And the key's cold to the touch. It feels like metal.
it is metal. Yeah,
Okay.
from what you can tell.
So I'm going to say I've just searched our friend over here, and I've got something like a card, credit card, ID card, some kind of plastic card, I think, and a key on a key ring.
How big a card? Like credit card sized?
Yeah, maybe a little bigger in the hand, but that kind of thing.
Is it cardboard like a business card or laminated like
I
a train
think it
ticket?
feels like actual plastic.
Actual plastic. And the key, is it one of the new types of keys, like with the teeth cut out the bottom of it, or is it like an old fashioned one where you've got
Oh, good
a
point.
spit and bits?
Yeah. Yes. Which is it, Luke? Is it like a sort of Yale key or like a Chubb key or?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got the teeth out of it, more like you'd have a locker key or like a money, like the money box
Okay.
keys, or like a till key.
So
sort of
like
thing.
a Yale key, but with teeth
Oh,
on
so
both
it's-
sides.
Yeah,
So
and
it's
small. Yeah,
smaller than a door key. It's like a padlock key.
yeah, bigger than a padlock key, smaller than a door key. Yeah.
Yep. Gotcha.
Okay. Luke, can I just say this is genius and very unsettling.
Good. I'm glad for both.
It is indeed.
For both.
Can you tell, do the teeth on both sides feel the same?
I'll check. I'm gonna do exactly that. Run my fingers down both sides in parallel and see if the two sides feel symmetrical.
Roll a dice for me, please.
Get a 7.
Any particular
Already-
die, or is it going to be a D10 again?
Not a D20. It has to be a D10 for the truth of the game.
It's essentially a D10.
Essentially a D10.
That's a 6.
And another one.
And another one. Okay.
Yeah.
4.
Oh, nice.
6 plus 4, 10. Okay.
Oh,
Well, if you don't get it the first time, you get a chance to add it for another. 6 plus 4, 10. You as holding this small key and running your hands down the side, and the teeth on each side are the same. Right? Or close as.
Mm-hmm.
In your mind, the thought of this small key could be like a locker key or a money key or something along those sort of ways. It reminds you, a sudden flash in your mind about a moment with a friend. And again, as everyone's been sharing, you feel the need. Maybe it will trigger more of your memory, this sudden memory of a friend.
I remember a key not that different from this. In terms of, the size of it, the shape of it. Used to have them on sort of big fat rubber bands you used to attach around your ankle when you went swimming. For the lockers in the changing room. And yeah, I used to Spent a lot of time at that pool when I was little. With a friend of mine.
What was his
Matt.
name? Matt or Max?
Matt.
Matt. Huh. How old were you?
Oh, it was a few years. We were very close. Probably between about 9 and 12, that kind of age.
Huh. Hey, how old are you now? Do you know?
I don't have a clear memory of that.
Do you have a beard?
Reach up and grab face. Do I have a beard?
Do you have a beard?
Yep, I've got a beard.
Oh.
Mm.
Do you have hair? Are you bald?
Got hair.
Okay. Are you thin, wiry, muscular? What are you? Paunchy?
I'm, I don't know, medium. Not exceptional.
So you're not like feeling like you're super muscular, pumping iron, big muscly guy.
No, not
Okay.
huge, but not tiny.
What about you, Maxwell? What are you like?
Whilst this has been going on, Maxwell's reached up and started testing like the elasticity of the skin on the cheek, just to see how get a gauge for how old. It's hard to say. At a guess, I'd say late 30s. I don't know how tall I am, but I can reach this pipe. Does anyone know how tall the room is?
I can't
Probably-
reach the ceiling.
Probably quite wiry.
On
Yeah,
tiptoe, you can
definitely.
reach the ceiling, Maxwell. On tiptoe, you can reach the ceiling.
I can,
Huh.
yeah, definitely reach the ceiling, but it's a stretch.
So what does that mean? Can I
Extra
keep
ear
on?
hair. Sorry.
No, it's fine. So I'm still moving right. And can I say, Theo, can you say something so I can see how close I am to you now?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
And in fact, if I may, I will also stand up. So see if you can hear my voice changing as I stand.
Oh, I'm reaching my hand out towards you. I don't think you're far away.
All right. And can I reach one hand up and see if I can touch the ceiling, or if there's any sort of pipe overhead or anything like that?
You reach your hand up. You sort of flail it a bit side to side, and are you facing towards where you started or where you were going?
I would be facing. I'd have turned around
far as
as
you can tell.
I got up, because that's the sort of direction that the others are more heading towards, if that makes sense.
Well, you can't tell exactly the direction you ended up in, but as you move your hands to the left, as you wave your hands, there is a pipe there that seems to be heading slightly towards Jane's voice.
Mm-hmm.
As you flail your other hand, you can feel it's almost like a what's not a T junction, not the one that stops at the end, but it's like a little
Crossroads?
letter T junction.
Oh,
There's one going.
cul-de-sac.
There's one going off to the right. There's pipe going forwards from where you are,
Like an
and
elbow
pipe
joint
going.
sort of thing.
Yeah, and
Like
one
a
going
right
to the
angle.
right. That one feels like it's going off in the direction that Maxwell took, but you can't be certain.
Okay. I'm going to say I've got. Is the pipe above my head, or is it? Is it
You
sort
can.
of shoulder height or
It's above your head.
above my head? Okay.
You can reach it. You don't need to tiptoes for it, but you do need to reach up for it.
Okay. Can I? I'm going to say I've got a pipe here. It's quite high up off the ground. Can I feel how sturdy it is and then try and use it to pull myself up?
Yeah, you can start by you do give it that little half pull, the half-hearted pull to check it doesn't all
Yeah,
crumble.
just to make sure it's not going to collapse.
You as you give it a bigger tug, you put your arms, you put your fingers around the top of it, so you're not just running your hand along the bottom or the side. So you're trying to pull yourself up, so your fingers go around to the top of it. Would you say there's a bit of a gap between there and the ceiling? As you do, as your fingers sort of get across the top, you start to give it a pull up. You feel this sudden scamper of tiny feet scamper across your hand and down your sleeve.
When you say tiny feet, are we talking mouse, rat? What kind of size?
Yes.
What the?
Yeah.
Okay. If it runs down the sleeve and my arms are up like that, I'm going to drop my arms immediately and then try and shake it out of the sleeve before it gets inside the main body of the suit.
What are you doing?
What was
are
that
you
noise?
doing? Are you
think
okay?
It's just possible I may have found Minty, sorry.
The guinea pig? Wait. Oh, the rats. Did you find a rat?
Well, I found a warm body with fur and, small feet.
It's definitely past your elbow.
Where is it now?
You do not want to know. Can I unzip the sort of boiler suit
You can, yes.
and fold it down off my upper body and try and shake the animal out?
What was that zipping noise? Tell me you're not getting undressed.
Sorry, yeah, I'm getting naked now.
Ewan, roll a dice, please.
What? That doesn't seem fair.
The lengths we go to get Ben to undress.
That's a 6.
And add another dice.
Oh. And a 1.
Okay, this is the sound of the unzipping of the clothes takes you back, a flash of your memory either to something that happened for the first time in your life. And it feels like a perfect moment to share it.
It's really weird how you getting naked, Theo, reminds me of the first time that I went camping. And that zipping in the tent? Or when you wake up on a really hot morning and it's stuffy and it's full of just the humidity inside the tent, but you crack that zip and that sound and the fresh air coming in. Sorry, that got a little bit weird.
Yeah. It's fine. It's just concentrating a bit at the moment. Is there any chance I can trap the animal in the folds of the clothing before it escapes?
Before it escapes. What?
Yes.
Breeches, I think, is the correct term.
I think if you've pulled the sleeve down well enough and sort of grabbed the wrist of one as you've pulled it off, and as you pull the other arm out, grabbing under the armpit, it's now trapped in the sleeve of your boiler suit.
All right.
You've got one hand at either end of it, holding it tight.
Okay. I'm going to try to put a knot each end of that sleeve so the animal will remain trapped.
Okay, tell me how you do it.
Okay. So, basic approach is this. I'm going to fold the two ends up together, so I'm holding both in next to each other in my two hands.
Mm-hmm.
Then carefully grip both in one hand. Presumably with the animal hanging below this sort of work I'm doing with my hand. Then, when I've done that, I'm going to transfer the end of the sleeve into the crook of the other elbow and pinch it tight in my elbow.
What? With love, just tie the knot with the rat in the middle of it. It's just one knot. But I didn't say that because I don't know what you're doing.
It's two knots.
That is a really weird sound, though. Did someone just tie a
What
clove
is-
hitch?
What?
It's two knots. So then I'm going to put a slip knot at the shoulder end. Now that I've got both hands free to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Then retrieve the other end from the crook of my elbow and tie a straight knot in that at that end. And then I will wrap the other sleeve around my waist to stop the boiler suit falling down, so my legs at least are still covered.
That was the
Yeah.
unmistakable sound of
No.
a slip knot being tied.
Not your legs I'm worried about. What are you doing, Theo? Make your way towards me.
He's naked. Don't ask that.
Is he?
The slight sweat from the effort with tying the knot with the critter inside has indeed caused a glistening that you can feel running on your naked top half.
Okay. How cold is this space, by the way?
The temperature's strange. The temperature is neither too hot nor too cold, really. It's almost like, even with the jumpsuit, like the boiler suit, the whatever it is, you feel perfect temperature. Here may be a little too cold, but nothing that you'd get goosebumps or anything.
Are we wearing shoes?
You reach down and you hadn't felt that your toes were on the ground. You were wearing shoes. You realise that they're slip-on. There's no, almost like boating shoes, you know.
Like little plimsolls?
Yeah. Let's go plimsolls is the perfect
Plimsolls and
description.
boiler suits?
Plimsolls and boiler suit.
Are we in like some really stupid high school production of, I don't know, Waiting for Godot or something?
Nice.
Oh, I have to
Has
rewrite my plot
anyone-
now.
Has anyone else noticed? It's really weird. The everything in here is kind of like a happy medium, and there's three of us. It reminds me of that that story. You know, the girl and the bears. It's odd.
Are we the bears?
I will. That will be the inference, I suppose. It's not important. I'm sorry. I'm nervous. I'm blabbering.
It's fine. It's just I would point out that at some point there were more of us.
That is true. Have we been? I
Or
was
we
under the
raided
impression
after the person was already dead. Of course, that's possible.
that's what I was thinking, but there's no reason why I was thinking that. It's just my
None of us can
assumption.
remember anything. How do we know that one of us didn't kill him?
Well, how would we have found them and killed them?
I don't know. I don't remember.
I can't even find you two.
The reality is, it would have been entirely possible to kill somebody if you had time by just working your way over to them, but it's not going to be easy to work out what killed a body you can only feel.
I'm not holding my hand out anymore now.
Yeah, don't say things like that. Am I still? What's going on? I've been waiting here for a while. I'm gonna be honest.
I thought Theo was gonna work his way towards me, but then he wrestled. I don't know what that was. Are you still coming this way, Theo?
Yeah, I am. I'm now going to work my way, if I can, along the pipe that's heading towards, if I get this right, Maxwell.
You work.
But
You
that
work
would
your
go
way along
straight past me.
Yep.
the,
I've actually got a pipe which gives me a frame of reference, if you like. So I'm going to go in that direction, and as I do, I'm going to say, I'm following the pipe, and if my logic is right, then I should be coming towards Maxwell and going sideways relative to you.
But you're both following a pipe, and I can't find the pipe, and you're just going to follow the fucking pipe, and I'm just going to be here with a stupid rail and a fucking guinea pig and a craving for banana and peanut butter sandwiches, and you're going to be following a pipe.
Well, there's more to the plan than that. As I go along, can I run my fingers carefully along the top of the pipe and see if I can find out if it's suspended by sort of wires or something from the ceiling, or is it just there because it's attached to walls, say?
I'm really sorry, I have to butt in. I've got a wonderful image of Theo glistening with his sweat, topless,
With
gently
a rat
caressing
bulging in his sleeve.
the top of the pipe with his fingers, sort of like monkey barring, but on a pipe rather than natural bars in pitch black.
God.
It's very nice.
Increasingly infuriating.
Please do go on.
So after your tussle with the small creature, and sort of having to pull the top of your boiler suit off and tying it around, reaching it around, and working what you do, you reach your hands back up again. You find pipe, and you follow it.
Wait, is the creature making any noise?
A slight squeaking noise. As you're walking, you feel above it. It feels like the pipe is attached every meter or so, with a small metallic piece welded to the pipe and drilled into the ceiling in some way.
Okay.
Um,
Do
as this,
those points
Go on.
match up with the welds that connect the pipe together into lengths?
yeah, it feels like it feels like every meter there's something it's been put together in such a way to support it, and
Right. So the fixing points are at the same position on the pipe as the welds.
yes.
Okay, got you.
You noticed, Maxwell, he'd said, Theo had said that he was getting closer to you. He was following your route, but the small squeaking of the mouse actually seems to be getting slightly quieter.
Why? What did you do with the mouse again?
It's a passenger. I've got it tied up in my sleeve.
Why?
It seems it's moving further away from me.
Ah,
You do notice that Theo's voice is maybe not quite as loud as it was when he talked to you a second ago.
As are you.
okay. Am I getting closer to Jane?
You've gone past me, mate.
No, you're going the opposite direction of Jane.
Okay, then I'm definitely going the wrong way. Then I'm going to turn around and work the other way down the pipe, please.
It takes a while. You feel slightly sheepish, but you do find that that elbow joint that you found before, that you thought that forward would be to Jane and to the right would be to Maxwell.
Okay.
Okay, can I ask about the pipe? Does it feel solid? Is it metal? Is it plastic? Is it vibrating as if something's moving through it? Does it have a temperature? Does it make a noise?
These are all excellent questions.
Well, answer them, Theo.
Can I say you wouldn't know, Jane? You've not come across one yet.
Yeah. I don't know the answer to any of those, but with Luke's help. So, is the pipe in fact cold or warm to the touch?
No.
It's neither cold nor warm.
Perfect.
Okay. Room temperature pipe.
Okay.
Metal.
Yes.
Okay. Metal, welded, suspended to the ceiling at the same points as the welds by sort of a clip or something which is drilled up into the ceiling. It's big enough for a, let's say, guinea pig to run along the top of, and it's strong enough to hold a person's weight.
When you try and grasp it in your hand with your thumb and your fingers, how far around the pipe do you feel that you get?
Fair
Is
enough.
it
Yeah,
a narrow pipe or a big?
Yes,
thick
is
one?
it like a railing pipe that I could almost get my fingers to touch around, or is it significantly bigger than that?
I'd say more closer to a drain pipe.
Okay,
A
yeah.
drain pipe.
So yeah, I can loop my fingers over it, but
Huh.
not grip around it. Yeah.
Here's the interesting thing: is it's metal, which means there's a lot of things it's not carrying. Because I don't remember why. But it's metal, and if it was carrying things that needed to, I don't remember. But it would be plastic, and it's not plastic.
Socks, roll the dice.
Oh, okay.
That makes sense. Definitely.
8.
And add one more, please.
Oh. 3. 11.
Okay. This pipe, the metal or plastic or something, it reminds you of like an activity, maybe a hobby or maybe a job or something done in a former life, as it were.
Huh. I'm in a lab. Oh wow! I can remember. I was wearing goggles, and there was a bench with slides and a microscope and all kinds of different materials, and I was testing them. I'm a scientist. That's what I am. I'm Jane the scientist.
Excellent.
Now, can you hurry up and get closer to me so we can get closer to him so we can get out of the room with the dead body in it?
Yeah, assuming we can find a way out. But yes, I'm going to press on along the pipe in the direction I've been going recently.
It's
And
only a
hopefully
few.
I'm going to get to the junction where where Maxwell is waiting.
It takes you a little while, despite Jane desperately asking you to head in her direction. You
Yep.
do hear Jane the scraping and the grunting of Theo heading further away from you, leaving you alone. He's maybe 10, 11, 12 meters away from you.
Theo!
As he, as you sense Maxwell, you sense the approaching of a slightly sweating, topless man and a squeaking creature in his pocket sleeve thing.
Theo, you're moving away from me.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I've got to follow the pipe because if I let go of it, I may not be able to find it again. Is the wall you're against now? If you were to head, is there a direction you could head along it, which is sort of towards my voice?
I could keep going in that,
because
keep going right, which
because what I'm thinking is we may effectively be in a corridor, and the junction that Maxwell's at may be a junction that indicates that the pipe may follow the line of the corridor, if that makes
We
sense.
were not in a corridor because there was a dead end if we were.
Yeah, but
I've touched 3 sides of this room now.
exactly. So we could be about to find the open side, which if you work along the wall, when you next find a corner, does it turn right towards us or does it turn left?
Okay.
And if it does, then the reason we're at a T-junction of pipe is because they're in the middle of a T-junction of corridor.
Luke, as this conversation is going on, the T-junction of pipe that I'm currently stood at, is there a draft coming from either direction?
No, there's not. The air you've been in here has been incredibly still. It's those moments of silence. You can't even hear a hum. You know, they talk about those chambers that people go a bit funny in. You know, it's like that when what they call baric chambers, or whatever they call it.
Hyperbaric, yeah, sometimes.
Hyperbaric chambers, yeah. Where for a lot of the time there's been that scuffling that one of them's been doing, or the squeaking, or something. But in those brief moments when you're just standing there, Maxwell, and there's not noise from the others, you can almost hear your heart beating in your chest, and you know you're swallowing. There's no sense of a breeze, either by feel or by sound.
Cool. Well, then I continue to wait.
It's not long before Theo reaches you.
Okay.
You almost crash into the back of him, I guess, because Maxwell is waiting so quietly.
All right. Then as soon as we make contact, I'm going to go, Maxwell, that you?
Reach out a hand to try and feel. That is me. Yes.
Okay. Good. All right.
Corporeal then. I assume, Luke.
What? Say that again.
Corporeal then.
Yes, you and roll a dice there for me, please.
Oh yes, indeed. That is a 1,
And one more, please.
and that is a 2.
As you sort of reach the hand out and sort of almost like a handshake between the two of you, your through your mind flashes a memory of an item linked to a family member. You know, maybe a treasured item, something that you remember.
That's still shaking my hand. That's really weird. It brings back memories of my my grandparents. I'm not sure which one had almost like a plaster cast mold of a hand with a little hole cut out for a tea light to sit in, and just that glimmer of light on their windowsill when we pulled up with the shadow of the hand.
Right.
Strong, like yours.
Oh, that's great. While you two are, holding each other's hands, I'm still here completely by myself.
Yep.
You should be thankful it's his hand. He's half naked.
Yeah.
How do you...
Also, I've got a let's go with hamster in my sleeve.
How big
That's
is
what they
this
all
thing?
say.
Does it have a tail? Let's do some elimination questions. Does it have a tail?
I don't know. It's in my sleeve.
Then feel your sleeve. Why did you tie it in your...
Maxwell reaches around the back of Theo to see if he has a tail.
Why do we need a rodent?
No, he definitely doesn't have a tail.
Do not have a tail.
No, sorry.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
I don't know. You said it was a thin material, didn't you?
Yes.
So I probably can sort of feel my way along the animal and see if it has a tail. Yeah.
It squeals a little as you sort of feel along the squeeze, and it takes a while for you to corner it, I guess, in one end of the sleeve. It does appear to have a tail, yes.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. It looks like it's got a tail. So
Is it big? Is it the size of your hand? Is it the length of a finger? How big is it?
it feels big for a mouse and small for a rat. So it's probably a medium to small sized rat.
A female rat.
Possibly. Yeah.
Does it have enormous testicles?
You keep your hands to yourself, Maxwell.
I didn't look. And
He does.
I don't really know how to quantify the size of a rat's testicles, so we're not going to go with that.
Relative to the rat,
The
rodents.
good news is if we
rodents
need
have
a rat,
enormous-
I think I have one.
What circumstances would we need a fucking?
I don't know. I don't know where we are or what we
Jane's
need.
having a bit of a meltdown. No, I mean, obviously, the first thing you're taught in any survival course is step one: get a fucking rat.
And size its testicles?
Well, if it's a rat, a male rat, and it has even an adolescent rat, and it has quite large testicles, then it's going to be quite bitey and aggressive when being captured and cornered.
Well,
And fabric, not a great defense against things that chew with large teeth.
no, that is definitely true. However, I would point out that I'm the only one who brought lunch.
She just has nothing else to say. Continues to
If you can't make light in
in a
well,
dark room with a corpse on the floor and our memories missing.
Okay. Point taken.
Jane is now starting to understand that she wasn't one of the fun scientists.
Have you found a corner yet? That's the critical thing.
Not yet. Have I? I don't think so. I'm still going though.
So you're working your way up.
Yeah.
That third wall, aren't you?
Yeah.
You've as you're sort of the talk. They've stopped, haven't they, at the T junction? And as you talk,
Yeah.
as you're talking, you've drawn level with them, and there may be 3 meters to your right, but you've still got solid wall next to you. Are you just reaching along? Did you stop reaching up, or are you reaching up as well now?
Well, I was reaching up, but Jane has now concluded that she's too short to reach the pipe.
Jane can reach just as you think that your fingers do brush across
Oh,
as you're level with them, pretty much, from what you can tell from their bickering and their bantering.
I found a pipe.
Pipe that seems to run into the wall.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, so it doesn't run along the wall, it's perpendicular to the wall.
Yeah, I think what we're looking at, if you found a pipe running into the wall, I think that's the end of the one that we're hanging on to. So if you were to follow the pipe, you'd get to us. Right, so one of us needs to go the other way along this pipe and get to the wall the other side. And then we can work our way down, assuming there's a wall the other side and it's symmetrical, then we can work our way down parallel along the two walls
That sounds like a terrible idea.
until we get to the corners. Because what we're looking for is methodically searching the walls for exits, entrances, anything.
Any idea that gets me further away from the rat seems like a good idea to me.
So what if your part of the corridor turns a corner while mine keeps going on straight?
Well, we don't know it's a corridor yet. It could just be a rectangular room.
I'm just going to keep following my wall.
You leave the pipe behind.
She's trying quite hard not to be angry, though. She's trying quite hard to stay calm now.
So you're leaving the pipe behind,
Yeah.
and you're continuing along the wall. Your hands, again, you've reached down. You feel that rail that's going around the, that height all the way down. You feel, again, maybe flecks of rust or peeling paint. You can't quite tell. Some bubbles, some ins and outs. you start to sense a, a a presence or an item or something in front of you. You know, in that dark,
Yeah.
that sense, and your hand flickers across a shelving.
Oh! I've got. What the? Is it
And
tall? Is it short? Is it many shelves?
It feels floor to ceiling, and as you feel around, it feels like it's in an L shape, like it's in the corner.
Huh. There's a shelf. Are there doors or a cupboard or papers? Is
No.
there anything on them?
It's sort of open from what you can tell with your fingers from running your hands up and down. It's like open
Yeah.
rack shelving, you know, like you just get in a garage or something like that, you know, just open, or an office.
Oh, like workshop shelves.
Yeah. They're sort of they are made in a similar way. They're sort of metallic up and down with all the holes, so that you
Yeah,
can
yeah,
screw
yeah.
them in at different. It's not there to be pretty. You know what I mean? In fact, you sort of, as you run your fingers up and down, you the underside's almost quite sharp. You know, as you run your fingers along. Could you roll a d10 for me, please? Sir?
Of course I can. Two.
And another.
And another two.
You have this sense as you run your finger along that and sort of almost cutting your finger on that sharpness of the shelf. There's a flash from home.
Home.
Something from your home comes to mind in that moment.
From my current home or my past home?
Home.
Home. Oh, it's shelf. These feel like my shelves in my garage. This is crazy. They're metal. They go all the way up to the ceiling. There's like 5. They're heavy duty. It's what I keep. I don't know what I keep on them, but these are like my shelves.
Are we?
And they're in a
We're
corner.
not, we're not in your garage.
I don't keep
Are we?
dead bodies and rats in my garage. No. Semi-naked men on occasion.
I'm not accusing you of putting them there, but okay.
I've got the corner though. I've got the corner of the room. Can I
Okay.
search the shelves for anything that I can pick up?
That means you've also had 3 of the corners now.
I have had 3 of the corners, yeah.
So there's only one that we don't know, and we can hope that if I work along the pipe in the other direction to the one you just passed and left, get to the wall over there and then turn left, I should get to the corner
You should get to
directly
me.
opposite
Yeah.
you, effectively.
You know, I just
Wait.
just thought, what if this is the craziest surprise party ever? No. Okay.
Anyone got a birthday coming up?
I don't know.
No. Quick question about the corners though. How, if you reach your corner, Theo, how are you going to know that it's not one that that Jane has already reached?
Well, it will be one that, because we know which direction.
Because
James
we'll
has
keep
gone
travelling
round.
towards each other and then
Clockwise.
eventually we'll meet.
So effectively, if Jane were to now follow the wall to the right, she would get to the same corner
Okay, yeah.
as we would get to by heading along the pipe parallel with that wall and then turning left.
Yeah. That makes
Assuming the
sense.
room is symmetrical. But we need to find out, because there may be an exit, you understand, which we don't know about.
Yeah. Well, if it's going to be anywhere, it'll be in a wall.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say you weren't a scientist.
No, not that I remember.
Maybe. Yeah, is there anything in
Although-
the shelves? Sorry, Luke.
Civil engineer seems more.
I don't think you're that
Okay.
civil either.
As the conversation happens, Jane is feeling across the shelves. They extend probably a meter back along the wall she came from, and she feels across maybe a couple of meters along along the other. You sort of you do a scan. You know, you start on the bottom shelf and put your hands and then run it along. You know,
Yeah.
maybe a couple of inches across above the surface. You know, to see, and then come back a bit lower.
But
There's
really,
nothing on
really
that
gently,
shelf.
just in case there's like knives, wires, razors.
Yeah. Of course,
Fun stuff.
along the bottom shelf, there's nothing at all. Nothing at all along that whole like 3 meters, including the corner. There's nothing. The next shelf, which sort of starts at your knees to like waist height,
Yeah.
I guess. Again, you feel along. As your hand runs along, the back of your hand clatters into a metallic tube, two metallic tubes.
Metallic tubes.
That about
Are they joined together?
they're separate. They hold about, I guess you'd say, 330 milliliters worth of size. I guess.
It's very specific.
Are they cans? Are they made of Like, are they like beer cans?
Just, you run your hands around all the sides.
I go
all
over the
three
top and see if there's
sides.
a ring pull.
There is a ring pull. Maybe you're dreaming that it's beer, but who can tell? But it
Is
does
the
fit
liquid
into
in
your
them?
can.
Do they feel full?
They do feel full.
I've got cans of drink.
Don't drink it.
Well, I don't know what they are, and you're saying that to me when he's got a rat in his sleeve. Come along.
I'm saying that to you when we're stood in a room with a dead body. To be fair, it's just advice. You're welcome to do
They're
what you wish.
sealed. But the point is, we're in not a hospital. If there's cans of something, I'm going to open one and smell it. So I do that.
I'll say, do you tap the ring pull first to? You open it. It opens with not even much of enough of a to suggest that it's a can, but that the
Okay.
liquid inside isn't necessarily carbonated.
Can I smell it?
That sounded like Fanta to me.
It doesn't smell of anything really. It smells very neutral, slightly metallic, but very neutral smell.
It's Budweiser. Doesn't smell of anything. Doesn't, because like alcohol has a particular smell to it. You can always smell if something's alcoholic, right? Unless it's ice cold. Does it have like that kind of sting in the back of my nose?
No.
Huh. Can I give it just a tiny taste?
You can. You sort of you get your are you going
Fish
finger in
ramen.
onto your tongue, finger into the tongue, yeah, or you like just a little bit.
No,
on
I'm
the-
just going no, I can't say even in jest because you'll make that be the thing that I do. She tips a tiny, well, she kind of tips a little bit on the floor so that there ends up being a little bit on the rim, and then
Oh, yeah,
she'll dab a
Pour
finger.
one out for your homies.
the poor homie in the middle of the floor somewhere.
Yeah.
The two of you are not too far away. You do hear the sort of a few drops on the floor, and you sort of take a small taste of the edge, and from what you can tell, it's your best guess is water.
Like fizzy water.
Not even really fizzy.
It's just water, guys. It's just water. Who keeps water in cans? Have you ever seen a can of water?
Yes.
Yeah.
That told
Sorry, that felt really like we were ganging up on you. We weren't. It was just coincidental.
No, it's fine. You both have already fucked off on a love affair with a pipe.
It's
I completely know where I stand in this threesome. It's fine.
it's not
What a
uncommon in
pipe it
things
is.
like hotels.
Hotels don't have bump rails at knee height.
No, but they do have cans of water sometimes.
They also have lights.
Yeah, admittedly, they do have lights and carpets
Hmm.
and probably
And
fewer rats
not
in the
bodies.
better class of hotel.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I don't know actually. My uncle works in a hotel, loads of dead bodies.
What the hell are you? Honestly. So there's
Is that
nothing else.
Ewan or
to tell.
Maxwell?
Oh yeah, exactly.
Who knows? Who knows?
On that shelf, no. The next shelf, which is sort of waist to chest height, you run your hands, and there is more. The first thing you miss on the first pass, but as you sort of then gently run your hand along the surface, you come across a very small pile of paper documents. You know, like paper from printers in the 80s with holes down each side, you know?
The daisy wheel printers.
Yeah. That, a little pile of that, you know, that sort of you have to tear apart, you know.
Yeah, with perforated edges. Yeah.
You find a tiny small stack of that. On top of it, a plastic rectangle card, and next to that, a larger
Can I
a
pick
larger
up the
case.
plastic rectangle card, please?
Yeah, of course.
Thanks.
And then next to that, a larger case, which you can from what you can tell is a couple of feet across, maybe a foot wide.
There's a big case, like a. I don't know. Can I try and open it? Is there a catch?
How big?
Bigger than both of my hands with my fingers outstretched. Feels heavy. And there was a stack of paper, like the old, really old printer paper, with a card of some. I don't know. I just picked it up. Can I try and open the case?
You run your hands around the case looking for like just open it from the top, then like, you know, like the little flick bits, flick it open or something like that. Then you're hoping against hope you're not going to come across one of those number codes because you're screwed if that's the case. There's not, but
wait, is it like a briefcase? Is it, or is it like
no? It's like a box case. In the middle at the front, though, as you run it, you do notice it, you run your hand across, and there is a small metallic, from what you can tell, circular piece of metal with a slit in it, like a vertical slit.
Like a lock, where one would put a key. Theo,
if you were guessing, then maybe.
Theo, you're going to have to abandon your pipe. Can you come over here? I think I found a keyhole.
Yeah, that works for me. Hold on a second. Okay.
Oh no, Theo can leave his pipe with me.
That's fine. Yeah, I've got someone to mind the pipe.
I'm going to clap. Walk towards. Oh, I don't know if there's. Can I just quickly feel out to the center of the room to see if there's like a desk or any kind of furniture that it's going to collide with?
And
if there is, I'm not going to tell him. No, I'm still.
I was say you're still sort of holding onto the so that you don't lose sense of where you are.
Yeah, so I've got that one hand on the shelf, but I mean, stretching across, that's a good 6 foot reach almost. So I'm just going to be feeling about to see if there's any furniture between me and where I'm assuming Theo's coming from.
As you feel out, Theo, you're making your way.
What I'm going to do is brace my both hands against the pipe and square my shoulders effectively so that I'm going to walk as close as I can to straight perpendicular away from the pipe in the direction of that wall.
Yeah. As you sort of walk towards, you're hearing sort of Jane's slight effort coming from slightly to your left as you walk towards, but only a couple of meters away from what you can tell. And Jane, you hear as he sort of heads towards the wall. Theo, you reach out and you reach the wall.
Okay.
And there is a wall in front of you. And Jane, You're pretty certain Jane is to your left as you're
Okay.
looking at the wall.
Am I in an area with an extension of the shelving, or is it
Wait,
just wall?
I'm to his left now?
Yeah, you should be.
No, because I'm in the corner.
That's right. And I'm in the middle of
You're-
the wall.
Where you're
Yes,
where
left.
you're
Oh, you're assuming I'm looking at the wall still. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, then
that's for him. For you, you're looking. He's almost directly ahead of you now. You would guess along the wall, along the wall
Along
that
the
you
wall
haven't walked
already
down. Along the
come
wall that you haven't walked down.
Oh, that I haven't walked down.
The sort of the longer bit of the shelf is extending down.
And I've just got bare wall. There isn't shelving in front of me.
Not yet,
Okay.
but it's not that far from you.
Then I'm going to turn to my left and start working my way gently along the wall towards Jane.
As you do, Jane, you're still sort of feeling out, trying to make sure there's nothing for him to fall over. A terrible time to fall over in the dark, of course. You could crush the mouse rat gerbil thing.
Yes, wouldn't that be a tragedy?
The key could go skittering into the darkness again, never to be found
So
again.
lovely.
Exactly.
So-
But
Wait.
as your hand reaches out, you feel nothing
Oh.
except the slightly sweaty and clammy stomach of a man walking towards you, glistening with manly musk.
That's you
Hi.
can't. Hi. Here, follow. Here, put your hand out.
Okay, I will reach my hand out and let Jane guide it.
Yeah, so I'm gonna grab Thea's hand with my. Right, so I've got my left hand still on the lock. And then I've got his right hand. No, I've got his left hand in my right hand, and I say to him, "Make sure you're holding the key. Are you holding the key?"
What-
Theo, roll the dice.
roll the dice. Rolling dice. Dice rolling. 5.
5 and one more.
9.
Okay. I want you to. You touched on briefly, loved one, about a cellar. You need to expand on this. The memory comes back to you in this moment where, the hands holding yours, guiding it, the key, something like that. That memory back in that cellar is sort of strengthened, I guess, in the moment. And it's almost embarrassing to say it, but you can't help yourself.
It's bringing back a flash of memory. First time, scrabbling around in the dark, finding a quiet place away from adult supervision. Sorry, I will retain my focus, and I will reach into my pocket with my right
Ben,
hand.
I gotta say that was a rubbish memory.
For you, maybe, not for Ben.
Yeah. And I'm going to reach into my pocket with my right hand and take out the key,
Okay.
transfer it into my left hand, and let Jane point it in the right direction.
Well, still holding Theo's left hand now with the key, I just pull gently his hand over to my left hand, where I guide his fingertips to the keyhole, and then I step backwards.
As you sort of guide his finger, his hand to the lock, you the arm of his sleeve bumps against the side of your body, and there's sort of squealing inside it as you sort of flinch somewhat and step away.
Fucking, is that necessary?
As
I don't know. I just don't want a potentially necessary resource to be running around on the floor where I can't find it again.
Whatever, dude. Unlock the thing.
you can feel in front of you, Theo, right near where your key is, you can feel that metallic circle with the slit in it.
Okay, well then I will use my fingertip to actually touch the very centre of it, that actual keyhole, and then guide the key down it until it slides inside.
the key goes in, and it fits snugly. It feels like it's actually made to be there. And
Then I will say, "Here goes," and turn it and try and unlock the box.
you unlock it. The key rotates smoothly and happily, and you feel the give of the lock opening, and the top loosens a little.
Okay, lock's open. I'm gonna
Okay.
lift open the lid and feel around inside, I guess. Gently, because it could be full of tools and screwdrivers and braddles.
Mouse traps.
Yeah,
a box of mouse traps.
it could well
all
be
armed.
full of rat traps. In which case, we can
Briefcase
put the
full of
rat
rats.
in the trap.
Before
Let's
you
all very Monkey Island.
put the key back in your pocket. Before you.
Okay, yes. I mean, I sort of had left it in the lock, but I can definitely take it out and do that. Yes.
What's in the box? What's in the box?
No, don't say that. Not now.
Oh God!
Come on, show me what's in the box.
I reach gingerly into the box because there could be sharp things or electrical things or furry
Gwyneth
things with
Paltrow.
teeth or the disembodied head of whoever.
Mm.
Now, if I was Ben, I would say, and that's where we'll end. But I'm not Ben.
Oh.
Inside, you feel a few more of those metallic cylinders, and you feel various packages that feel soft. Some feel a bit squidgy inside. Some feel a bit more crunchy, potentially.
Are they wrapped in plastic?
That all seems to be wrapped in sealed plastic. And on top of it, there's a, from what you can tell, like a maybe a dictaphone or something like that. Something like as you run your hands on, there's sort of a metallic and plastic device with some buttons on it that, the buttons feel like they're in the right place for the hand, if that makes sense.
Okay. Then making sure I don't press two buttons at once, if that makes sense. Carefully running along the gap between the buttons so I'm only ever pressing one at a time.
Playing fast forward, and then we get a message from Alvin.
I am going to see if I can find a button that looks like a common button to press, either because it's smooth or bigger or whatever, and see if I can hit that.
Nice.
Maxwell, you sort of hear that sort of clattering around on the button, even from where you are, and then there's Theo, as you press it in, there's a moment, and you feel a click and a slight whir starting the machine, and then all three of you hear a voice ring out in the darkness. Theo, Maxwell, Davinson, Jane, Claire. Inside this box is food and drink. I'm afraid you will be in this space for a long time. Make sure your supplies last. I'm sorry. I'm truly sorry. And that is where we're going to end.
Oh, you shitbag.
Can't say things like that. I mean, he is, but you can't say things like that.
Sorry. Yeah, sorry. I was very annoyed for a moment then. Fine.
I can tell.
Appar-
Wow.
Apparently, it's not a one shot. It never is when I do it. So
That's a shocker for us.
I mean, we
Who'd
did
have
spend
thought?
the best part of an hour fannying about in the dark.
Well, that
We're
feels
still
like the whole
fanning
game,
about the
though. To be
dark,
honest.
actually.
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah.
No, I know what you mean. Wow, that was really good. Thanks.
Amazing. Yeah,
Really good
really,
fun.
really amazing.
I thoroughly recommend playing in the dark as well. That was odd.
you're a good man. You're
That
a
was
purist.
fantastic. So what were the other two names?
Claire and Davinson.
So
Yeah,
which
Claire and
one's the
Davinson.
rat, do you think?
Ooh,
God.
Jane.
I'm still not convinced that I'm not the killer, to be honest. I think it's me.
I mean, if I was going to put money on me, Ben, or two NPCs, or you, I don't want to say it, but
After some consideration.
yeah, well, yes, careful consideration.
We've done an analysis.
Yeah,
The science doesn't lie.
the cake is alright though.
Thank
Amazing.
you.
Cake, yeah.
that was brilliant fun.
Thank
that
you all.
really was.
Enjoyable.
And I'm very much looking forward to part two. I sort of assumed idly that this would be a one shot, but actually I'm really into this. I'm looking forward to part two very much.
I really want to.
Yeah, good times.
Good. I'm glad. In which case, let's play it again sometime.
Yes.
Yes,
Let's.
let's do that.
Play it again, Luke.
Play it again. So on that bombshell, thank you, dear friends, and thank you those of you watching, and those that hung out or tuned in, came and went along the way. I hope you enjoyed this experiment, this darkness, and I hope you'll join us in the dark next time we play such a thing.
Soon. Make it soon.
Yeah.
Well, it's
But
good to do
also,
it while my
my
internet's
memory.
up,
Yeah.
Yeah.
so yeah, the sooner the better, I'd say in that regard. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that would be lovely. And thank you so much for joining us, Socks, once again. It's brilliant to have you along.
Oh no, thank you for
It
having me.
always
It's-
is.
Yeah. When it's a Luke special, it's always a treat, isn't it? Look at Tony and Rudy.
it
That's one
is.
for Ella.
And this is one of those things which may have been born out of necessity, but nonetheless turned out to be shockingly brilliant.
Yeah, I can't wait for 3 years' time. We're still role playing Three Idiots in the Dark.
Oh my
That's
God,
Now
Joe,
in
I-
Vienna.
That is the dream.
I think, actually, to be fair, that's the subtitle of the Tony and Rudy Adventures now.
It could be the subtitle of the whole channel, to be fair.
Three Idiots in the Dark.
Yeah, Boys from the Baltic Star, aka Three Idiots
Three
flailing
Idiots
around in
in
the
the
dark.
Amazing.
Life goals. Oh,
There are worse things to be known for.
indeed.
Yeah,
Oh.
brilliant. Well, thank you very much. And I think it falls to us to now say good night. So, good night.
Good night.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, all.